As I mentioned before, VTM can exist without VTS. If this is the case, measures and services within the VTM framework, which are usually designated to VTS centers, may be executed or provided by other organizations such as Coast Guard monitoring stations or reporting services. And it's very important that the role of VTS within the VTM framework needs to be adaptable and sustainable. The primary VTS services in their existing state contribute to the VTM framework, constrained by precondition for reuse and reuse information. This contribution, in conjunction with other stakeholders, will make VTM more robust, while improving each stakeholder's individual position within the VTM framework. This improved position is therefore expected to enhance the primary services of VTS. A VTS at a minimum should provide an information service and may also include others such as navigation assistance service or a traffic organization service, or both of these services within the VTS area. And as you know, these services are defined in many ILO documents and IMO recommendation, IMO resolution A85720. In this part of my presentation, I will focus on the benefits of VTM to the VTS primary services. The nature of INS provided within the VTM framework will change little. However, it is expected that the exchange of data and information by conventional means, such as VHF, telephone, or fax, will decrease and will be replaced by automated and digitalized options for the collection, storage, and exchange. So it is anticipated that especially execution way of the INS will change. For example, meteorological and hydrological data and information may exchange by automated and digitalized means instead of conventional methods such as VHF and fax. These automated and digitalized means may also be used on reporting movements, closing or opening of the fairway, information about destination, and etc. Our table on the screen shows information and activities of VTS related to information service in the strategic, tactical, and operational domain of VTM. Although NAS, Navigation Assistance Service, may be less affected than INS and TOS by positioning of the VTS within the VTM, the provision of NAS when deemed necessary by VTS may increase due to an increasing demand by the authorities to ensure safe and efficient use of the navigable waters and protection of the marine environment. And this table in this slide shows the information and activities related to the Navigation Assistance Service in the strategic, tactical, and operational domain of the VTM. The provision of TOS, Traffic Organization Service, is one of the VTS services where the impact of VTM is most likely to be felt, where change may result in conduct of VTS management techniques, especially on the water space management techniques, which is having established the available water space and the type of the vessel that will be operating within the VTS area. The tactical and operational organization of the vessel traffic within the VTS area will be directly affected by the strategic decision making within the context of VTM. Equivalent strategic decision making within the VTM will influence tactical and operational decision making with regard to organization of the vessel traffic within the VTS area. And this table again shows information and activities related to traffic organization service in the strategic, tactical, and operational domain of the VTM. Now I would like to talk about the role and position of VTS within the VTM concept with respect to maritime security. But first, we need a maritime security definition in order to define and justify the role and position of VTS in it. Maritime security can be defined as the coherent efforts by various stakeholders which are involved in prevention and mitigation of harm to people, vessels, waterways, ports, and infrastructure from intentional illegal acts. And VTS may contribute to the maritime security and assist security assessment. Of course, there are some criteria for VTS to contribute maritime security depending on the authorities and responsibilities of the VTS authority. VTS may provide information to support maritime security services in addition to its primary VTS services. VTS provision of or support to maritime security services shall not compromise the provision of the primary VTS services in support of the navigational safety, efficiency, and protection of the marine environment. Through its role in monitoring vessel positions, intentions, and other critical information, VTS has a substantial amount of information that may be valuable for ship and port security. Through its position, VTS may make available information to aid or assist security agencies in counter-terrorist activities. Sharing of information should occur when a VTS authority enters into a specific agreement with appropriate security authorities on a case-by-case basis. In the case VTS only supports maritime security services, the relationship between the VTS authority and appropriate security authorities and their positions in the decision-making process should be unambiguously defined in advance. As I mentioned before, VTS may assist security assessment through in-depth knowledge of the port and waterway infrastructure and its criticality and vulnerable locations, real-time knowledge of vessel activity including scheduled movements, vessel locations and intentions, in-depth knowledge of regular port operations including vessel routes, activities and port stakeholders, regular and continuous communications with competent vessel operators such as master miner and officers of the watch. You know, VTS have continuous communication with the vessels by using allocated radio channels or by other means in the VTS area. Further consideration are also my last slide and conclusion of my presentation. I would like to emphasize once again that VTM may exist with or without VTS. But if we want to have VTM with VTS, all national and international legislation related to VTS should be reviewed and modified appropriately because there could be some legal constraints on the role and position of VTS within VTM in a national and international level at the current situation. VTS equipments, including sensors, data processor, database, and related hardware and software, may be modified or upgraded with regard to role and position of VTS within the VTM. For example, some VTS functions, such as assist to maritime security or law enforcement, may extend beyond VTS area within the VTM framework, and these functions or extensions may necessitate new, modified, or upgraded software and hardware. And of course, training and certification of the VTS personnel is one of the vital issues on the role and position of VTS within the VTM. Competent and VTS authorities should consider VTM-related training for all VTS personnel in their existing and new VTS. Furthermore, in my opinion, ILO VTS Committee should take into account this issue while reviewing ILO recommendation V103 on the standards and training certification of VTS personnel and related model courses. Extra and additional works at the VTS Center with regard to VTM framework may necessitate additional work positions and personnel. So this issue should also be considered by competent and VTS authorities while determining or reviewing staffing level at the VTS centers. Thank you very much for your attention.